As soccer takes center stage this summer, Comcast helps bring the experience home to America. As the exclusive Spanish-language home of the tournament in the U.S., Telemundo is set to present its most expansive coverage ever. 700 hours of programming, live on-site presence at all 104 matches. And with multi-view and real-time 4K, Xfinity will deliver the most innovative and immersive sports viewing experience for fans watching on Telemundo, Peacock, Fox, and FS1. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com.
First Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
Argentina versus Egypt here in Atlanta. It does come in this time, and what a start made by Egypt. Well, the challenge coming in there, and it's a penalty. All eyes on Lionel Messi. Oh, it's saved by Shabir. Goodness gracious me. And Mohamed Salah. And is it going to be a second goal? It is. Zico.
After review, careless tripping committed by number 19 of Egypt in the offensive phase. Final decision is goal cancel, breaking.
Hassan, ball play! This time Zico! And surely that won't be taken away. Oh, free header! And that is exactly what Argentina needed. Deflection there on the way through. Can they line something up here, Argentina? Oh, it's gone in! It's 2-2, and who else? Lionel Messi! Sending it over! Enzo Fernandez! Can you believe this? The reigning kings of world football will not relinquish the throne. Messi mania will continue at this World Cup.
Penalties in Vancouver. All the drama to come to give Switzerland the lead in the shootout. Stutter step, penalty, brilliant. Calm as you like, ice in his veins. Campas gets it under Kerbal. Just got it under Kerbal. Oh, he's put it over the bar. Saved by Kerbal. Brilliantly saved by Kerbal. Loads of power on the penalty kick, but a brilliant save by the Swiss goalkeeper. Itten scores down the middle. Advantage Switzerland. Colombia now have to score. Sends him the wrong way and scores. You can reach out and grab the tension in this stadium in both hands. This to send Switzerland through. And he does score! Ruben Vargas! And Switzerland head to Kansas City to meet Messi and Argentina.
Live from New York. It's the show that's going to take a quick 1 minute before we start to talk about our different penalty kick personalities and strategies.
Straight down Broadway.
Wow. Straight with a stutter or no?
No, just straight down Broadway.
Straight down.
The same way I bowl.
No.
The same way I bowl. Just
okay.
straight down Broadway.
Brew?
I think I'd be like one of those cool cats, just kind of softly kick it. You know, like was it the second guy?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, like you know, just
okay, just boop right into the lower
cool.
corner.
Yeah.
I'm going as hard as possible, top left.
And so you would just shoot it 30 yards over the goal?
No, I would never. I would never miss. I would never miss.
Top left.
I just wouldn't be.
Well, that's even the best players in the world don't trust themselves enough to go top corner that often because that is the only spot that's unblockable. If you can go perfect top corner,
right.
It can't be blocked. But the reason guys don't do it is because they might blast it over the goal.
Messi has
He's
missed
not great
4 of his last 8.
I know. The Athletic today postulated, should they stop having him do them?
Yeah.
But then Josh brought up
one weakness.
Josh brought up the great
50%.
point. If you do that and then you end up in a shootout, have you shattered the GOAT's confidence?
Then you're. Come on.
You can't shatter the GOAT's confidence.
Yeah.
I think you got to let him keep
not
taking
great at it.
No.
You're
doing half of them.
You got to let him keep
No.
Look at that. You're going to take this guy, one of these guys?
Yeah, you missed another penalty.
Around like a rag doll. What if they had dropped him?
Epic win for Messi, but is Argentina flirting with disaster?
Funniest thing I've ever seen.
Meanwhile, LeBron free agency watch Is he flirting with Philadelphia? Bob Myers.
That's what the Lakers should have been doing for LeBron after the Rockets.
Bob Myers is out there
They
just like
kicked him
pitching Rich Paul and Max. And finally, special quarterfinals edition of World Cup Tiers. Some controversy here.
Why?
Is there?
Brew loves them.
Well, not really.
What?
Actually, I do. I like the top.
You love them.
I like the top. I like the. I don't know why he did that. I don't think he believes that.
What?
Oh, I agree. We're not going to say what it is, but we got a little
the tiers. But it was odd.
It's not just me, Brew. It's
a
a
whole
full
committee.
Max and those guys.
Yeah, full committee.
Maximilian.
Yeah, my bad.
We start in Atlanta, down 2-0 to Egypt deep in the second half. Argentina scores 3 goals in 13 minutes, taking the lead on Enzo Fernandez's header, the latest game-winning goal in Argentina's history. Historical context from The Athletic. No team had ever been trailing by 2 or more goals in the 78th minute and then come back to win before extra time until Argentina did it yesterday. Here's Henry.
He reminded us that he's human, because he missed some penalties and 4 out of 8. And then he reminds us again that he's not human. I played with him, as you just mentioned. And what happened with Leo is that sometimes you do not wake up the beast. That's what happened. When his team needs him, he raises his game. This is a guy that played 120 minutes the other day. He raises his game. He started to take the ball and dribble past almost everybody to try to change the game.
A historical context from the GOAT, Tom Brady. Yeah, so that might top 28-3. Nick, you had just picked Argentina. The group chat curse was on. We were making fun of you. And then all of a sudden, Argentina won. Did you think they were done?
For a moment, I was concerned. I even did something I almost never do, which is the conciliatory preemptive tweet. I tweeted out, "I'm sorry, Argentina," because I was worried that I had somehow cast a black cloud over them. And had that been the case, I was going to have no other choice but to segue over to the only South American team left, Colombia, and they got clipped later that afternoon.
Even thinking about it.
So while I was concerned in all seriousness, I never gave up hope. And I'm not going to act like I'm a big, longtime Argentina fan, but I did pick them, and I do like
One
Messi.
day.
Like, all right, one day. But I didn't lose hope because of him. And yes, part of it is I do think Argentina is a better team than Egypt, and when the better team is desperate, you always give them something of a chance. You saw Belgium against Senegal erase a 2-goal deficit in the final 10 minutes. They needed the extra time for the 3rd goal, but they do something similar. We've seen these things happen or come close to happening, but it felt to me while I was watching, it was like, man, if they can get one, they're going to win. I didn't think they'd win in regulation or in the 90, but I thought as soon as so whatever anxiety I had, Brew, once it became 2-1, went away entirely. I was like, they're going to find another one, because this guy at 39 years old is still the best player in the tournament. And I know Haaland's been amazing, Harry Kane's been amazing, your guy Mbappe has been out of this world. I think he's still the best guy in the tournament. And the last 2 goals, Brew, he has scored in this World Cup, the one against Cape Verde and the one last night, I don't know that there's another player in the tournament that would have scored those 2 goals. The power of that goal combined with the absolute amazing finesse and touch of being able to just kill the ball there and make it easy. So it's just, I didn't think they were done. I was concerned, but when you are watching the greatest to ever do something, who still, even if he's not at his athletic peak, seems to have full grasp of all of his powers, they're not going to be done.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the difference you see between him and Ronaldo. Like, Ronaldo, when his physical abilities lessened, he just wasn't the same player. Whereas with Messi, the mind, the technique, the skills, all that is still there, and he's still great. I definitely thought it was over. And I sent to the group chat I honestly, and I didn't even mean it as a dig. I honestly think Nick's the kiss of death right. Like, when it was 2-0 with 78 minutes, at the 78-minute mark, I was like, this is unbelievable. Even when they did score the goal, and I know you keep hearing 2-0 is the worst lead.
The most dangerous
which
lead.
I guess you're confident, you get complacent, and the other team can make a run. But I still thought at 2-1 that they had them, and this was going to be a tremendous upset.
See, I'll throw it back to you. And it's a little bit off of Brady's 28-3. Once the first goal happened, I started to feel confident. And then they start knocking on the door. It started to feel like, Egypt feels this too. And it reminded me of Falcons, Patriots. Or like, you're an unwilling participant in this comeback. Felt a little Spurs Knicks to me. And I wonder, Brew, how much of the overturned goals, even though they had even though they had gone up 2-0 after this, it felt like this haunted them. And in the post-game comments, they were like, we're being treated unfairly. Did they just feel the world was against them?
Well, I think you're right. You bring up Spurs, Knicks. That's a great comparison because, Egypt's never been this far. And so
we're about to do it.
Right, and you're doing it against a veteran team, a guy that's clutch, obviously, in Messi, Jalen Brunson. So, I think that's similar. And if you look at I wanted to get to this, but the last goal, the third goal, which was a breakaway, like a fast break, look at Egypt. Egypt's players were not running full speed like Argentina's was. And the guy that ended up scoring the goal, he just outran everybody. And he ran away from these guys. And so I do think once they tied it at 2-2, I think they felt deflated.
It was
inevitable, right?
I don't think it was the VAR thing, which we'll get to later, only because they got that goal right back. It'd be and so I
don't think at this point I agree with you. At that point,
I don't know. I think it was lingering.
Here's what I think happened. They go up 2-0. They feel like they got robbed. They got stolen.
Yeah.
So they're like, here at 2-0.
Yep.
Robbed, stolen here. Get it back. Now they're higher than they were from the 2-0 before. And then Argentina scores. And then all of a sudden it's the combo of, oh my God, we should have been up 3 and this happened. Now, you see a self-fulfilling prophecy of they're going to.
We should have been up 3-1.
Right. This should be
now
over.
It's tied.
Now
it's
this.
3-2.
Exactly. And so I think it temporarily went away. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as Argentina got back in the game, and it also is, I do think sometimes we give too much credit to the superstars.
Right.
Sometimes you can't give enough. I think there is an element of Argentina digging deeper because, this can't be his last game. Can't be the last time we get to play with him. Those things. I think there's an element of Argentina believing the impossible is possible because of him. And I think on the flip side, there's an element of Egypt, bouncing around in their head, oh my God, we're going to eliminate Messi.
Tiger Woods effect.
Yes, the Tiger Woods, not just
scoreboard watching.
And so I think he just, because it's not just the living legend piece of it, it's that he is playing at this level that I think they're just going to be a hard team to beat because of that. They keep flirting with getting beaten.
I think they're going to get beaten.
That's the thing. I do think, and I'm not writing them off, but I do feel like if they had played better teams, they probably are. They have had a very light run to the Final 8. So
the thing is, that's going to continue.
Yeah.
They now get Switzerland.
Yeah.
In the biggest game Switzerland's ever played, further in the tournament than they've been in 70 years. And I think the world rankings at least would say Switzerland or Norway is the worst team remaining. Not trying to be disrespectful. They're in the Final 8. Then you get England. where all the anxiety and pressure and all of history, you know what I mean, is weighing on England's shoulders, or Norway, which if they get there, it's unbelievable. But Norway themselves, I think, is like kind of like in, extra credit portion of the tournament. Meanwhile, Spain and France are on this collision course where they both have brutal games just leading up to it. I just think that they have not been the best team in the tournament, but they are the most likely team to be playing in the final. And then if you're playing in the final, like they
got a shot, especially with Messi.
Yes, with Messi, and they beat France in the final last time.
That game is in Kansas City on Saturday. Picking up the pieces from Team USA's exit. The good news, USA-Belgium game did record ratings. 30 million people. The bad news, 30 million people watched Pulisic's ineffective and injury-ridden performance. Here's Landon Donovan.
There's reporting that he asked to get subbed out of the game. I can't confirm that, so I don't know if that's true or not. But the reality is, Tim, he came out of a World Cup knockout game at home with his leg still intact. Because I'm saying this to you, Tim, and you know it because you played with me, you would have had to drag me off the field. And I would have punched the doctor in the face and said, you're not taking me off the field. Put whatever you need to put in me, and I'm staying on the field. Sure. I told you this before. I never shared this publicly until a few months ago. I played with a torn hamstring against Ghana after the Algeria game. Right? And nobody knew about it. I didn't have to tell anyone. It was no drama around it. I just did it.
Carly Lloyd referencing Pulisic saying that he gets to rest now. You rest when your playing career is over, period. Your reaction to this, now that the dust has settled on Pulisic?
Look, this World Cup has done major damage to Christian Pulisic's image. It's one thing, and I'm not belittling our opinions, but it's one thing when non-ex-players or ex-coaches or something who are just pundits like we are criticize you. But when ex-players, like darn near kind of American soccer heroes, Donovan, Carly Lloyd, when they criticize you, and Donovan, I listened to a good chunk of that podcast. He kept saying, I'm not trying to kill the guy. I'm not trying, but he just had to be honest. And I won't say irreparable damage because he's in 4 years, he'll have another shot. Now, he will be 31. Yeah. I've said even yesterday, injuries seem to be taking a toll. So who knows what type of player he'll be in 4 years. But Donovan was even saying he's texted like with one of his ex-teammates who has been saying for years, when the games are the biggest, he's not going to show up. Pulisic will not show up. He'll be great against the Bosnias and, the teams that don't really matter. And it's kind of like a James Harden type thing where he hasn't stepped up in the big moments. And so, and look, with the injuries, maybe he hasn't been good, not just for Team USA, for the most part in this World Cup. And I guess with the injuries, you could say he was injured, but apparently a lot of people think there was stuff he could have played from, and you've said that. But he also hasn't really been playing great on the club level, at least for the past several months. So, it's possible we may have seen the best of Christian Pulisic already.
Listen, his star take U.S. men's national team outside of it, on the European club level, his star is dimmed. You know what I mean?
Was it ever even a star?
Well, no, he was when Chelsea signed him at 19.
When he went there, right.
Yeah, when he went there. And then with Chelsea, he was a bit of a disappointment. Goes to AC Milan, and AC Milan, he was excellent first couple years.
Right.
Yeah. He was considered their best player. They're one of the best teams. And then this year has been a tough year for him. And now there's this. And there is, listen, I'm just going to play for you guys something else from this podcast. Here's Tim Howard. You guys read what you want into these 15 seconds from Tim Howard on Christian Pulisic.
What I would say about him is, when someone tells you or shows you who they are, you believe them. So I think he's a nice footballer. I do. I think he's a very nice footballer. Still think he's the best player on the team. Outside of that, you'd have to ask me very direct questions to which I could give you very direct answers, but ultimately, he's a nice footballer.
Landon, I love you. I would have loved some of those direct questions.
He doesn't need to ask.
No, neither. Right. And so that speaks for itself. The old guard does not appear to be super fond of Christian Pulisic. All of us saw how he suffered the injury that knocked him out of the biggest game of his life. And this is now, there are 2 buckets of criticism available if you want to criticize Christian Pulisic. One is his World Cup performance, which was undeniably beneath his standard, peppered with, missed opportunities and disappointing. Oddly, that is the less sticky criticism. Yeah. The greatest players in the history of every sport have had bad moments or bad months or that is undeniable, but it's also understandable. The other bucket is what we're all hinting around, toughness. It's more nebulous. It's a more dangerous criticism to levy. It's impossible to prove. But it's also the far stickier, more stinging indictment. That these guys are saying, I'd have played through that, and it wouldn't have been a question.
Right.
You won't. When you add to it the lack of team credibility that he has built up by skipping the Gold Cup, by being not necessarily as beloved as some less talented, but more, whether it's charismatic or just one of the guys. This part I don't know, but he doesn't seem to be a beloved figure the way some of our other guys have been, a la Clint Dempsey, who gets brought up a lot. Mm-hmm. Those guys, you have a very easy and, in my opinion, fair target. Because as soon as Pochettino got there, he got off to a bad foot with him because he didn't play in the Gold Cup. Yep. Landon criticized it, sins of the father, not sins of the son, but his dad going after Landon Donovan, I can't imagine super endeared him to everybody else. His utter nonchalance, throughout in all the media stuff throughout this tournament, culminating in, now at least I have time to rest. That is going to be the lasting, the thing Colin did a year ago that was maybe a little unfair, but it was really good, which was close your eyes and think of Steph. Close your eyes and think of LeBron. Like you have an image, and it was a Tatum take. He's like, close your eyes and think of Tatum. But the close your eyes and think of something is, I think, useful. If you close your eyes and say, what is the lasting image of Christian Pulisic from this World Cup? It's him limping around and asking off. That's what it is.
Well, to that point, and obviously the Cup has brought in tons of casual fans who just heard, Christian Pulisic's our best player, he's a superstar, whatever. And this is pretty much all they've seen of him. And then you see the criticism from other, like I said, American soccer heroes of the past. And, this is big time damage.
Can I ask you a question, Brew, since you're the elder statesman of the show, and I'm getting up there? When I was watching this, it was so incomprehensible that he was going to walk off in the biggest moment of his career. It actually made me think of other not seizing the moments that I've seen throughout sports history. And what it made me think was, we're watching the literal chapter of his book that gets written in 20 years when he talks about my lowest point in my career. And I've read those books. I've read the Agassi book. Landon Donovan just released a book. We love Landon. Landon also took a sabbatical because there's a lot of pressure. Yeah. And you see, LeBron is on a different level. I'm trying to think of other
but there's
just real low moments that are like, oh man, we're not even talking about the soccer player, we're talking about the person.
Right.
Did that hit your radar at all in your history of like, man, this is so bad, maybe there's something else going on, physical, mental, like his whole world is just, it's too much for him.
Well, you never know what might be going on. These guys are human beings. Guys go through all types of.
But that's where I had to
things.
go to. Now I'm in like the human being level.
I do, and I could be wrong. I do feel like he, and I don't know if he, I don't know him. I don't want to say he doesn't love the game. I'm not going to say that, but saying you want to rest. Pulling yourself out of games. I didn't go to something off the field. I just think there's a.
He doesn't have, listen, it would appear to be very, very basic on it. I'm not sure he has that dog in him.
Yeah,
like that.
Definitely
I think that
it
sounds
feels clear.
Too simplistic. And the only counterpoint I would give to your, I think, salient point, which is, in the great sports books, they're usually, and certainly the great sports movies, there's the fall, the lowest moment, and then pick them back up.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of books that never get written because the fall is just, there's no pick back up and nobody cares about that book. And so you're right. This does not guarantee at all that he won't have a great 2031 and at 27 or 2030 when he is 31, pardon me, or even 2034 when he's 35, and that we look back and say, hey, he had to learn from this, all that.
Yeah.
But it's also on the board that that's just who he is. That he's a wildly talented guy who doesn't play his best against the biggest competition, and in a contact sport, if you contact him, you can knock him out of the game. And if that's the case,
and that his best years and experiences are already behind him.
Yeah, it's on the board.
That's very much on the board.
It's on the board.
I mean, 27.
And he's got a lot of relationships to mend, it would appear.
Yeah, that's.
If he cares, I don't know. Maybe he might look at this and be like, "I'm better than you guys, and our team did as good as yours did." So give me a break.
That is the backstory of when they did the road. Like, they're criticizing us, like, what did you guys do?
Yeah.
There's some bad blood there that's weird.
I'll be there tomorrow.
France, Morocco on Fox.
Brew, I'm leaving the show 15 minutes early.
I heard.
1 day, 5 hours, 33 minutes.
Never done it.
Watch him, Bob. You're gonna love this stadium.
Yeah.
That's
the old 15-minute early exit just to make sure I can hit kickoff. Wearing my Morocco bucket hat.
Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
Welcome back to First Things First. Yamal, Spain, taking on Belgium. I don't know how I feel about the Belgium team. They didn't do anything wrong. They just beat Team USA. But all of a sudden, I'm not a huge fan of Belgium.
That's all right.
They're
going down.
Can I tell you, KW, when you're watching the game, what you're going to be rooting for? Belgium.
No way.
Deep down, you're a little worried about Spain.
No.
You are. Spain has beaten France. You are worried.
And we don't give up goals.
No one is stopping France, guys. I don't know if you've seen how good they are at scoring.
It was 1-0.
KW are riding together.
They're literally unstoppable.
I'm a little torn because I like France.
You know how good Messi is? Good three Messis on one team.
No, they're great.
Argentina pulled off a historic comeback. Egypt team thinks the officials helped. One goal was taken off the board. Here's that play. Goal is going to go in, and then it's going to come off the board. Later in the game, the referee doesn't check VAR when Mo Salah was tackled. I didn't like that either. After the game, Egypt coach Hassan said, "We haven't seen respect or fair play. Life is unfair. The world is unfair, okay? But why isn't there any fairness in sports? I'm not convinced by this outcome and by the way things unfolded in this match." Dax, you didn't love this. I don't know if you like the quote, but you didn't like the VAR stuff. Your reaction?
Yeah, generally speaking, I think technology to get really big decisions right is the correct usage and the correct implementation in sports. But VAR was not introduced into our game to re-referee every single moment of a game. That specific play in general is probably a foul. I think more times than not, a referee would look at that play, especially on the replay, and say, okay, this is a foul. Here's my big problem with generally how VAR is being implemented now, specifically in these knockout round games. The referee has a clear view of exactly what is happening on that play. And in his process of going through, is that a foul or is it not, he determines that that is not a foul. So now the play plays out, and I don't care that people say, well, why are you going back so far? It's 15, 20 seconds before the goal was scored. It is the attacking phase of play. That is the law of the game. So the implementation of that part of it is correct as well.
So they would not stop that?
No, they wouldn't stop that. The attacking phase of play doesn't reset. Of course, Argentina has chances to make a play. They don't. The ball goes in the back of the net. My issue is with Big Brother watching. I believe referees are not now reffing the game as they normally would. They know that there's a built-in safety net around them to be able to go back and re-referee all these moments. And my biggest issue is the consistency with which it's used. I could probably find 10 to 15 plays that happened in the group stages that are fairly similar to a guy getting stepped on, a guy potentially getting fouled, a guy getting kicked. The referees, you know what they've done really well? They've said, no, that's not a foul, get up, play. Guys have stayed on the ground. Referees say, no, play on. And guys are popping up. It was actually something I was impressed with early in this tournament. I believe there's been, for whatever reason, an overcorrection to use VAR. So while that may be the right call by the letter of the law, I just feel like refs, they're not refereeing games as they should because they know somebody up top will be like, hey, you made a mistake, come change it.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And look, I didn't know that you're never going to stop. Because for me, the time did make a difference. Like, it was like, okay, they let it go. Whether you thought it was a foul or not, they let it go.
So the attacking phase started so.
It started really
it was
deep,
like,
but
wait,
that,
what?
But that doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, I get that now. But I did feel like if you made that call, you had to make the one.
And Brew, that's the issue you get is that you can go back through any game and you can get two different refs and you can ask them, is this a foul? Is that a foul? And it's a subjective sight. It's a subjective decision. So now, why would Egypt not argue that that's a foul?
Yeah,
There's contact in the box. The Argentine player makes contact with the ball first, but he then makes contact with Salah afterwards. That's where we're getting into the nitty-gritty, nitpicky, like subjective nature of re-refereeing every single play.
KW.
You want to done with replay.
Listen.
Oh, you're a big no
I've
replay.
been telling you guys this for years. Replay always sounds like a great idea. Vinny Testaverde didn't score, his helmet did, and therefore those are the only things we're gonna fix. If we had replay when Diego Maradona punched the ball into the goal, we'll fix 100%. That. Oh, of course. What if Dave Roberts had been called out on that slide? World Series history has changed. Only that. But that's never what happens. Instead, what we get is a combination of sports, across sports, being played by world-class athletes at world-class speed, being broken down on a frame-by-frame, damn near molecule-by-molecule basis.
Yep.
And the added lack of benefit. What's the opposite of benefit? I'm so fired up I can't speak. The added detriment. Thank you, Brew. That referees get worse because much like, I can't prove this, I know it's true. The world's greatest tightrope walkers fall a lot more when they're practicing and there's a net beneath them than when their life's on the line. That there is a natural relaxation of, okay, if it's a mistake, it can get fixed, where you get worse. And you also, you can't, if a referee, we say in the NFL all the time, do business as business is being done. I've set the tone on what is and isn't a foul. Well, VAR doesn't respect that at all. VAR is just, it doesn't matter if you've been playing it one way 100%. All game, now it's this. And now we've opened up the Pandora's box of how far back do we want to go? To where there is, there is also the entertainment value of the sport, which is one of the cool things about baseball that it has over all the other sports. Is a home run is always a home run. There is never a thought process when your favorite team is a walk-off home run. Is it real? Did something happen? But every other sport's been polluted with this, where there's the celebration, but and now it's no longer just offsides, but it's okay. Hold on, he was offsides, but let's see how we got the ball 17 seconds ago to make sure there wasn't an infraction there. It is a good idea that human beings don't have the capacity to put a limiter on. And so it's like, well, we have the technology, you should use it. I mean, it'd be stupid not to use it. We have the technology, so use it. Get it right, get it right, get it right, get it right.
Yep.
And it's not getting it right. It's making it worse across all the sports.
Across all sports, referees have always had a big impact. And that's why you celebrate great referees, because it is one of the hardest jobs you can have in society. But again, now,
I don't know about that.
Certainly in sports society.
In sports, for sure. Well, you're going to be, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, all right? You're going to get criticized.
You're always criticized.
No one's ever like, wow, that referee was
It's
great.
certainly one of the most thankless jobs.
It's a thankless job. There's a harder job in society. But again, like to Nick's point, VAR was introduced in soccer to be like, hey, mistaken identity, instances of clear mistakes where 98% of people watching would be like, yeah, he made a mistake. The problem is 60% of people will think that's a mistake. The other 40% will be like, what are you talking about? That's not a mistake. Guess what? It's subjective. You're taking that away from the refs because they know there's a safety net above them.
Can I ask you one hypothetical about this, because the plates took so long to develop and end up as a goal for Egypt? If Argentina got possession back at midfield, let's say.
And then Egypt went and won it back and scored.
It's goal.
That would have been a goal.
It's
because
this
was
a
change of possession.
Yeah,
it resets the
And if Argentina got the ball back and then they scored, the goal would have stood.
Yes.
Yeah, the only thing it is,
exactly.
it
But
was...
it's like, no, actually, I fouled.
Yeah. Egypt would be like, hey, I fouled him, by the way. Go
fouled,
back.
so you guys should have a kick
that
from
goal
there.
would stand.
No,
that's a great point.
Yeah, it's because there was no change of possession. That's why they consider it
And
one.
by the way, like it doesn't matter that it was like a beautiful goal that Egypt scored. Like the implementation of the law doesn't factor in aesthetically pleasing goals or not, or distance or not. It's the attacking phase of play. It was correct by the letter of the law. It doesn't mean that it's consistent.
Our poor guy Fletch said, VAR is the bane of my existence during the Switzerland game.
It's strict. Well, you call it, and then it's like, nope, everything's offside.
Yeah.
All right, quarterfinals are set. France, Morocco tomorrow. Spain, Belgium Friday. England, Norway, and Argentina, Switzerland both on Saturday. Which of the four faves is on upset alert?
So I would love to say it's England, because even though Norway ripped my guts out, I before the tournament I told you guys how much I like Haaland. And being there in person and seeing how terrifying he is, that's where my heart is. But I actually think the answer is France. So here's why. One is, of the teams remaining, only Argentina has faced an easier slate of teams, like easier competition. Morocco has faced in this tournament the FIFA World Ranked number 5 and number 9 teams. Norway's faced the number 5 team. England's played a top 10 team. Switzerland played a 11 team Colombia. Spain's played number 7 Portugal. France's best team they've played is either Norway's backups or
Senegal.
Or Senegal in the group stage. The other one is Morocco has beaten every awesome team they've faced in the last 4 years, or drew with Brazil, except for France. Morocco is the opposite of untested. If we show it to you, Morocco at the last 2 World Cups, these are games against top 10 opponents. They beat Belgium, they beat Spain, they beat Portugal, they lost to France in the semis last year. They drew with Brazil, they just beat the Netherlands. And so again, I think the most likely outcome this weekend, Dax, is all 4 favorites win. I think that's, but Morocco's the only team that's on the that's not one of the 4 favorites that I think is good enough to win the whole tournament. So if I think they're good enough to win the whole tournament, I think that they can, potentially execute the upset. It's less about France and more about who their opponent is.
I think that's a good argument for Morocco. I will go with England, though. And I picked England now to get to the final against Spain. But I just think they haven't looked great outside the Mexico game. I thought they were fantastic. Yeah. Mental toughness and just great physically. So, but outside of that, they haven't looked great. And Haaland just is a scoring machine. I mean, 14 straight games, I believe it is now, that he scored in. And he might get a brace. I mean, that's obviously always on the table. So they're going to have to score to hold him off, because I think he's going to score at least 1, if not 2 goals. And so I think that they are definitely on upset alert.
I love both of your takes. I went through both of these in my head, thinking, who I'm going. But Brew, you're spot on yet again. And I know you wanted to say England, and I understand why you didn't, because England played very well down in Mexico. Like, if you want to tick a lot of boxes that I was really skeptical on the English on, they ticked all of them. Getting contributions from other players, their wide players, Jude Bellingham having a generational type game, Harry Kane stepping up and still being great. They played the adversity, 10 men, defended well. They haven't played against a guy like Erling Haaland yet. Yeah. And Erling Haaland sees these English defenders in the Premier League week in and week out. He's actually teammates with one, Mark Gahey, and he has a fantastic number 10 behind him. That is a chance creator. He's a Premier League champion with Arsenal in Martin Odegaard. Those 2 guys, if you have an elite chance creator and an elite goal scorer, you can absolutely beat an England team who I feel like is still vulnerable defensively. Mexico still scored 2 goals on them. Yeah. And Harry Kane plays against a couple of these guys. Harry Kane will be a danger. It's a matchup of the 2 best out-and-out number 9s in the tournament. Whoever has a bigger game, that team is probably going to win. I have England going to the final. But I love your France argument, and I went through it in my head because I really, really rate Morocco. The problem is I made the argument that of the breakout stars of this tournament, Saibari, their striker, was certainly one of them. He has injury concerns going into this game. Now, I don't know if they've confirmed that he's in or have confirmed that he's out.
Him being out would be
Him being out is they fundamentally do not have enough firepower with the rest of the attackers to, I think, be able to keep up with France. I said you're going to have to score 2 or 3 goals at least if you want to upset France, and I just don't think Morocco has the firepower to do it.
Did you have a pick, KW?
Yeah, mine's the same as Tier, so I'm going to put it in my back pocket. But obviously, Argentina, another miraculous victory. That's parallel with upset.
I just think
that's what I'm always
the
looking
weakest
for.
team.
Well, they played the weakest team in Cape Verde when I had them on upset alert.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
NFL Top 100. Baker Mayfield coming in at 77. We discuss after the break, and we're counting down to Norway, England from Miami. That's in 3 days, 6 hours and 14 minutes.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
NFL Top 100. Baker Mayfield, Rockies won. They're catching up on the Dodgers.
Let's get to
I know
it.
I gotta say it.
Let's get to
it. Baker's the 3rd QB revealed. He's ahead of Brock Purdy and Bryce. Here's how Brock did last year compared to Baker. Now, don't forget, Purdy only played 11 games because Mac Jones had to come to the rescue.
Wow. No, Purdy played
and still had more turnovers? Wow.
Purdy played 9 games.
No, that's 11. It's including the playoffs, Brew.
Playoffs.
Yeah, Baker didn't.
Who's headed for the better season this year?
Look,
this fight.
Baker Mayfield with something to prove with a chip on his shoulder is tough.
Extensionless.
Yeah. He's in a contract year. He didn't come to terms with Tampa Bay. He's obviously understandably upset about it and bothered, but being professional, gonna go out there and prove them wrong and maybe end up somewhere else, who knows. But the first 2 years in Tampa, when remember that epic battle with Kyle Trask?
Oh, yeah.
To see who was going to start it.
Yeah, that was really.
I mean, he had
the show was on the ropes. We didn't know we were going to make it.
We're just talking about Kyle Trask every other day.
I mean, Trask.
You just
the reports out of Tampa were that Trask was looking good. All right, pushing Baker. All right, but anyway, he had two great first 2 years there were really good. But that said, so I expect Baker to have a really good year. But I am going to go with Brock Purdy because Brock last year, Nick, when he was healthy, was really good. Second in the league in touchdown percentage, and he's always high.
You love these percentages.
Well, TD percentage is big.
Who was first?
Stafford. Okay. And he was tied for second, I think, with Lamar.
Yeah, I was going to say Lamar. I knew Lamar was
Lamar's always
That's why I always hear about touchdown.
But you know that's a legitimate stat. You don't think percentage of your passes that go for touchdowns. How can that not be legit?
No, go ahead. It's just
passer rating. He was at 100 last year, Purdy. So look, I think Purdy is going to be more accurate. I think he's going to have a better passer rating and a better touchdown percentage. And he's going to get more wins than Baker.
Okay.
So I think Purdy is going to have a great year. Look, your boy, Mike Evans and even Christian Kirk. Like, I just think there's going to now be some stability in his receiving corps. Ricky Pearsall, I really like. We'll see if he's healthy. But I believe Kirk and Evans will be there healthy. Kittle, obviously, a nice security blanket and then some. So I think Purdy's going to have
Listen, what hurt Baker last year and what Purdy last year had the wherewithal that when he was injured, he sat out games. And when Baker was injured, he played through it. And so that hurt Baker's stats. It might also hurt the team. I'm not even saying it was smart, but it is.
I think it definitely did.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I don't know. I'm not even certain if Kyle Trask he might not be in the league anymore.
He's probably doing what we do.
Baker at 40% might be better than the backup, so I don't know. Here's what Purdy has going for him.
Oh, Jake Browning.
Okay, here's what Purdy has going for him. We know what the floor for the quarterbacks for the Niners, at least where it was last year, and because I don't even know if Purdy last year had the best season of two quarterbacks on the Niners.
Oh, now we're talking.
Win-loss passer rating.
Well, again, the passer rating, Brew, actually goes to Mac. The touchdown interception ratio goes to Mac. The yards per game goes to Mac. The completion percentage goes to Mac.
Did he win any big games like against the MVP Matthew Stafford?
The yards per pass barely goes to Purdy, and then obviously the win-loss record. He has 3 more wins, same number of losses.
Includes the playoffs.
But
Purdy was 7-2 in the regular season.
I'd like you to play your best in the playoffs. Personally, that's just me. And so there is certainly Baker has a lower floor than Purdy does. I think I think that's undeniable. But I think Baker's a better player than Brock Purdy. I think that Baker is asked to do more than Brock Purdy and has a harder job than Brock Purdy, and I think he'll have a better season.
So they should usually like the contract as a indicator of how much the team respects the quarterback.
Yeah.
And Purdy signed a pretty deal, and the Bucs are keeping their
I don't love that. I don't love that, but I also think I wouldn't have given the contract that they gave to Purdy, and I think had they waited a year, they wouldn't have given it to him. You know what I mean? Like last year, him being injured and not being great was not, and seeing what Mac Jones
is, all seriousness, Mac is I wouldn't say as high as Darnold could be, but I could see Mac resurrecting his career.
Resurrecting, Pro Bowl quarterback
somewhere.
Not
in the Niners, but somewhere.
3 days, 9 hours, and 59 seconds till we see Messi in action again, this time in Kansas City, taking on Switzerland on Fox. But are they on upset alert? Find out next. in tears.
Ooh.
You know, I hear Messi's looking at home sequence.
Oh, wow, who goes?
Is that true?
This summer, serve up the Cookout Classics, Kraft Mayo and Dressing. Toss green salads with delicious ranch dressing or zesty Italian. Serve smooth, craveably creamy potato salads with mayo. We all know it's not a cookout without Kraft.
Second hour, first things first. Today, Messi has the Golden Boot lead, but the one part of his game that he might have to abandon, and it's an easy part. Meanwhile, where is LeBron headed? Bob Myers and the Sixers make their direct pitch to Rich Paul. Very interesting. Well, let me get you caught up on what's been going on. Last night in an emergency Zoom session from the Power and Light District in Kansas City, while on the verge of dismantling his Messi Legos, an elite committee of experts, broadcasters, and fans of gut health fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all of sports. It's an honor and it's a privilege. It's time for World Cup quarterfinal tiers.
Indeed it is. Only 8 teams remaining on the tiers, which whenever we get down to this few teams, the tiers can look suspiciously similar to a power ranking.
Oh my God, they better not.
Each team.
I could have got a USA Today for that much.
No, that's for standings. USA Today does not.
Could have gotten the FIFA rankings. Printed in USA Today.
So this would not be the FIFA rankings. And that is an important distinction.
Okay, good.
However, it is one team per tier because
It's another 8 mile.
it's not an 8 mile thing. You guys might as well reference One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Do you realize how old 8 Mile is?
No one else has done it.
Great movie.
It is because these 40 teams in the biggest World Cup ever have all been eliminated.
Poor USA.
Yeah.
And Brazil.
I hate to see it.
All the hosts.
Brazil, yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, you did it in order, right?
I just, you know what? It's not left to right, but I kind of did it as my fondness.
My flag knowledge has gone through the roof.
Through the roof. That would be a fun game. Can you no, it was probably should.
DR Congo higher.
All right.
There you go.
Bottom of the tiers. More than watches and chocolate. It's true. Switzerland. Did you know here are the 4 teams that have made at least the round of 16 at each of the last 4 World Cups? France, they're pretty good. Yeah, Argentina, they're pretty good. Brazil, they used to be pretty good. And Switzerland. 4 consecutive trips to at least the round of 16. This is their deepest trip into the tournament since the 50s. They're the bottom of the tiers, but they're still there. 2011 Mavs, question mark. Belgium. People thought they missed their window. People thought their best player was a little past his prime. People thought their other best players were definitely past their prime. We're talking about Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, Jason Terry, or you're talking about Lukaku, De Bruyne, and Belgium. Additionally, the path seemed impossible. For Belgium, it only gets, maybe the U.S. didn't seem impossible, even though they were the underdogs, but you're staring at Spain, and then probably France, and then Argentina or England. Could they be the 2011 Mavs? Odin, a.k.a. a literal Viking god.
Oh.
Listen, if you're into Norse mythology, Odin was the god of death and warfare. And I'm not saying that Erling Haaland is a violent man, but it felt like he inflicted violence upon me Sunday afternoon at New York, New Jersey Stadium, sitting in front of Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Cafu, watching all of us. I gotta be honest, I think I was a little more upset than those guys.
Because they knew.
I don't think that's why. I think it's you don't know how good you had it when we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little, you miss us a little bit.
Sure.
Listen, Odegaard's awesome, and you've done a really good job, Dax, of throughout the tournament mentioning him when you mention Haaland. But I've never, and I don't think this is prisoner of the moment, I don't think it's hyperbole to say I think he's now at 59 9 goals in 54 games in his career for Norway.
It's genuinely incredible.
Well, I think it's more.
I think it's more.
I think it's way more. We double
in
check.
his career for Norway, I'm pretty sure he's at 54 games, and maybe the goal's right around, maybe it's at 60 now. But it's a huge sample of games played for Norway where he has averaged more than a goal a game.
Okay.
It's bananas. That's why Norway's where they are. Slayed all the Giants, but won. We mentioned this earlier, Morocco against top 10 opponents over the last couple years, but they have beaten Spain. They drew Brazil. They beat the Netherlands. They beat Belgium. They have had such great history against the best European and South American teams in the world, except for the semifinal against France, which again was a good game. France scored immediately, and then it was 1-0 until late. France then added one late. I'm certain, the moment the brackets came out, Norway wasn't looking past anybody, but they knew this was the game where they could get their get back. We'll see if they do tomorrow in Boston. Now or never, question mark for England. So listen, England has an awesome group of 20-somethings on the roster. The Declan Rice, obviously Bellingham is phenomenal. But the guy who is considered the best player in the history of the country, Harry Kane, is 32. They have really good and expensive goalkeepers on their roster, but their starting goalkeeper is also 32. England, that has come so close so many times, including losing back-to-back Euro finals, being in the semifinals of this tournament with Harry Kane, but has not lifted a national trophy in 60 years. This might be your last best chance to do it with Harry Kane. See if they can. I'm sure they are very happy about their draw, their side of the bracket, their little region where they are big favorites over Norway. Writing their own fantasy, Argentina. And while writing their own fantasy, they're ruining everyone else's. Cape Verde was a Hollywood movie, up to and including the guy running into the stands like cartoonishly in a way you wouldn't believe in a movie. And then Argentina ruins it for him. Egypt, after really going through kind of a lot of some tough moments for them during this World Cup off the field, dealing with different security and things like that, and their players being the deepest they've ever been, being up 2-0 late against Argentina, saying nobody believed in us, and then Argentina once again writes their own fantasy. It is unbelievable, and Thierry said this himself, from a Hollywood perspective, that this could possibly be that Lionel Messi, who 3 World Cups ago, it was discussed, or 2 World Cups ago, when they lost to France, assuredly this is Lionel Messi's last game with Argentina in the World Cup. To then come back and win it, and then maybe come back and win it again while leading the tournament in goals, it's unfathomable.
Storybook.
KW, I did this one for you. Last 3 World Cups for France. 16 wins, 1 draw. This
is blasphemy.
Hold
that they're not. I know.
Everyone's going to get their chance. 16 wins. So here is France at the last 3 World Cups. They have scored 44 goals. They've allowed 15. They are 2 games I'm not including because they were the final group stage game when they'd already clinched the group.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why. So in the last 17 games they've played that matter, 16 wins, 1 draw. The draw was the World Cup final against Argentina, what many people think is the greatest game ever played. And they've been utterly dominant. So why are they not atop the tiers? Because you can't lose a shutout. Now, let me tell you, I understand. Technically, while it could be 0-0, you lose in penalty kicks. I'm extending the shutout to penalty kicks. If your goalie never allows a goal, you can't lose. Game could go on for infinite time, literally, till the sun burns out. But Spain, whose best player is yet to play that well, in my opinion, has just utterly dominated on the defensive end to such an extent, combined with the fact that I do think, they believe they can beat France. they right now, out of respect for what they did against Portugal, are atop the tiers. 1-0 against Portugal versus 1-0 against Paraguay. To me, Spain gets the nod. Dax, your thoughts?
Well, I think we can all at the desk agree that finally, Tiers is not tainted by Brazil.
You know what? I'm looking at Dax's big
finally.
board. Brazil's still
that
on
hasn't
there,
been updated in
Brazil's number 4 over
days,
there.
all right? That needs to get updated probably today. France has to be on top. You got to flip Spain and France. Wow. No question about it. France has been on top of your tiers the entire tournament. And I understand that the defensive dominance of Spain has been highly impressive. Listen, you're speaking to a defensive midfielder, all right?
Exactly.
I appreciate a good clean sheet. I appreciate an excellent midfield, which is what Spain has, and their backline is excellent. But if we can get the graphic up of France in this attack, it is almost something like we've never seen before. The fact that they are overperforming their expected goals the way they are, the fact that they have 3 players that have scored more than 2 goals. Lamine Yamal hasn't hit his peak yet. I agree 100%. We have yet to see the best out of him. It does seem to me like he is still trying to ramp up to 100%. He doesn't quite trust his body yet, and he is almost there. I think that is a scary prospect for the rest of the field. But when you have an attack that is overperforming your expected goals like that, it kind of breaks all the models. Mbappe has an off game, awesome. You know who's going to score a hat trick? Dembele. Right. The reigning Ballon d'Or winner. Both of those guys have an off game. You know who the best playmaker in the tournament is? It's Michael Olise. So you have 3 players who can all change a game for you. So the Spanish player, the Spanish team, I don't believe has run into a gauntlet of teams that have really tested them. Even Portugal, who I was like, Portugal's maybe a dark horse, best midfield in the tournament. Their attack never really even threatened Spain. Mm-hmm. We are on a crash course. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. And I've been on record, and I'll stay on record as saying, you have to be able to score multiple goals if you want to beat France. I believe that if they meet in the semifinal, that shutout streak comes to an end. And then do you trust Oyarzabal? Do you trust Baena? Do you trust Lamine Yamal, who only has 1 goal in this tournament, to be able to keep up with that attack? I don't see it. France should be on top.
Listen, you make great points across the board. Here's the only thing. I have a different reaction when I see the actual goals being that much higher than the expected goals.
Regression to the mean.
My old
Your
favorite
regression?
cousin. Regression to the mean.
But this
seems
is what
like
great
they are playing even by their great standards.
This is
running a little hot. Running a little hot on the goals that they're scoring. That's all I'm saying.
This is what elite attacking players do. They break models.
Sure.
That's just what they do.
That's totally fair.
Nick, congratulations on getting the top of the tiers, right?
I've been
telling you guys, Spain, all
Stop it, bro.
Cup. So
they haven't allowed
Spain
a goal
will
yet.
win. That's right. You don't score on them. But I have beef with the lower portion of the tiers. I am moving England ahead of Argentina. Now, like I said, I expect England and Argentina to meet in the semis and England to prevail. They just showed me, I was so impressed with what they did in Mexico. First team ever to win in the Azteca in the World Cup, visiting team. So mentally, I thought they showed incredible toughness. Obviously, they had the skill on the pitch. And they've got 2 guys playing great. Harry Kane, obviously, but also Bellingham is now playing well. And Argentina, look, they have gotten by the skin of their teeth in these last 2 games, despite having the easiest path to the quarterfinals, haven't played a top 20 team, and they've been pushed. And so I do think that's going to come to an end when they meet England, and so I would put England ahead of them.
It's interesting, because England obviously had as big of, maybe even a bigger scare than Argentina did against DR Congo and had to pull one out of the fire there. The Mexico game is fascinating because I picked Mexico to win, and I thought that was an amazing game, and it showed amazing fortitude by them to be able to win. I also felt like at the end of that first half, they were up 2-1 and had been thoroughly outplayed for 40 of the minutes.
Sure.
They had those 2, Mexico missed those chances. England had those 2 brilliant minutes in 2 minutes, 2 goals in 2 minutes. Pardon me. So let me say this and then go to UKW. I have more confidence that if Argentina finds themselves down 2 goals again, that they will find a way out of it than if England does. I know England, down to Congo, found a way to steal that game. I think it is going to take a 3-goal deficit for Argentina to be shaken again in this tournament. You know what I mean?
A lot of people thought it should have been a 3-goal deficit against Egypt.
No, that's fair.
Right.
Not to open up that can of worms.
I'm taking Brew's take and raising it.
All right.
I don't think Argentina gets to play England. I think Switzerland needs to move up above Belgium, mostly because I'm just upset at Belgium for embarrassing us, so I'll just move Switzerland up. But it's really about Switzerland, Argentina. You talked about Argentina's opponents. Here's how total goals given up and scored in the knockout rounds. It is Argentina has scored 6 goals. Fantastic. They have given up 4, almost 5 if you want to count it. France, perfect 4-0. Spain, 4-0. England's given up a few. And look at Switzerland.
Well, they're playing. That's how they're trying to play.
And it works.
Yeah.
2 goals, none against. Now let's look at Switzerland in the first, 77 minutes or 75 minutes of the game. Switzerland has scored 6 goals, haven't given up a goal. Argentina has scored 6, but has given up 4.
Argentina has scored 8 goals in the final 15 minutes.
And then they turn it on a little bit.
That's
They never say die, man.
That's
the heart of a
unbelievable.
champion.
That makes me more confident in Argentina.
Well, look.
It just feels like they've been hanging in 3rd gear and then can just.
Maybe. The defense giving up 4 goals in the first 75 is what I'm more convinced.
Okay,
teams
that's
can
fair.
score them. Cabo Verde can score.
Absolutely.
Argentina hasn't played well in the last 2 games.
But it's been exciting.
Escaping. It has been.
No, and
they're escaping. How many times are they going to allow themselves to do that before they run out of matches?
And they're yet to play a top 20 team in the tournament. In the world.
One glaring issue here.
Go ahead.
A lot of these things come down to penalty kicks. And all of a sudden, the best. Okay, it's been 8.
Yeah, but you know one of the makes?
He's missed 2
in the World Cup final. It's one of the makes.
Okay, there's 4. I totally get it. But if you were to be worried, this is the reason to be worried. He missed 1. That won't happen again. He missed another one. Dax, he's changed his style because it's like in his head.
Yes. Absolutely.
What do you think Argentina does?
I think that he will still take penalties, but I absolutely think that he is questioning himself and second-guessing himself. He's the greatest player of all time, should be supremely confident, but right now, the change in tactic and the change in run-up shows me that he's kind of waffling a little bit. He's kind of wavering. And now, goalkeepers, like Messi, the last couple penalties he's taken in MLS, he'll stutter, he'll wait for the goalkeeper he puts in the corner. Right now, goalkeepers, they have the upper hand on him in penalties right now, but I think he'll be strong enough to step up and take it again.
Can I ask you how important confidence is when you're taking a penalty from firsthand experience?
That is the most important thing. If you're not confident, you can't.
Wow!
Oh,
yeah, lock in, dude.
Look at that. Now that was confidence.
Boom!
Bam.
Let's see that
Game
face
winner.
again.
Leagues Cup, World Cup, same thing. Look at that celebration. That was a game winner, too.
Let's go.
Elliot Panico, legend.
Look at this is what I like.
Don't freeze that.
Oh, yeah, look at the crowd.
That's awesome.
That was
no doubt.
Cold.
Great.
No doubt.
Counterpoint on Messi?
Yeah.
He's really only missed 1 this World Cup.
And
it didn't even, the goalie just made a great play. That first one that he missed, man, that was to break the record. He didn't want that to be the highlight.
Oh, that's
He didn't want that to be how he passed Closa. He was like, I got something better for you later, and then he hit it from outside the box. And he was like, that's going to be the highlight, not some silly penalty.
LeBron weighing the Cavs, the Heat, and the Sixers we discussed. But we're also counting down to England, Norway, 3 days, 5 hours, 36 minutes. That's on Fox. So before we get to that, here's Darren Fletcher, First Things First fan. Remember, he said he's going to work in some catchphrases. Take a listen to this one.
Xhaka didn't get there. Suarez It's for Colombia. Poor finish. Xhaka wants a free kick, but he has to be stronger there. And that's a really good sighted goal for Suarez.
Well, Suarez is pointing at the pitch. I think he says it bobbles up. James wanted him to play it into him. He made a brilliant run just to the right of him.
Let's have a look. Does it bobble? Oh, get off.
No, not
There's
at all.
nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
That's just a bad swing.
Sometimes you got to point the finger at other people, Fletch.
That's like one of your tee shots.
What, far right?
Do you know what? 10 out of 10 for him playing in the pitch.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
Hey, you just create an element of doubt. So the manager doesn't know. James was looking at him thinking, why didn't you pass me the ball? To be fair, if I was him, I would have shot it as well.
What did Nick Wright tell me to say? I don't like that. I love it. It's taken a few games to get it in, Nick, but there you go. I don't mind that whatsoever. From Luis Suarez.
I didn't like the shot, I'll tell you that.
Oh, dear. There were people ducking in the front row of the crowd.
Welcome back to First Things First. Mbappe feeling confident. 1 day, 4 hours. Oh, in the belly. He's saying don't. Oh, and Elise. My sticker collection is going great.
I got to tell you something.
What?
You keep referencing the sticker stuff.
Yeah.
I
need someone
referenced
else
it
to
enough
do it.
that I know you've told me about it.
Yeah.
But it must just be when I tune you out. Because every time you bring it up, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yesterday when you mentioned it, I was like, is that the thing Kevin Wildes has his own of?
No.
That's like a trading card?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, this is, if you got into this, you would lose your mind.
Well, you keep trying to get me
Just
into
get
it,
into
and
it.
then I
get into it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fresh off of a shirtless workout video on an exercise ball, LeBron still weighing his options with the Cavs, Heat, and Sixers as the reported top 3 destinations. 76ers president Bob Myers sat down with Max Kellerman and LeBron's agent Rich Paul on the Game Over podcast to make a pitch about Philadelphia. Take a listen.
If he was here, I'd say I honestly believe this is your best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, and that, let's talk about this team, because you can win here in Philadelphia.
Okay, bro. 3 favorites. What do you think about Bob Myers, and is that what do you think? Cavs, Heat, Sixers.
It's a tough choice. I think all 3 of those teams would be legitimate contenders with LeBron. Giannis in Miami, I mean, the temptation to play with Giannis is great, right? I mean, can you imagine LeBron and Giannis together? Not to mention Bam, right? Adebayo. Yeah. But their lack of shooting is incredibly problematic. Like, what is the spacing going to look like with that team? I know they got Andrew Wiggins, Tim Hardaway Jr.
I still think that's the worst option.
And Davion Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell's improved his three-point shooting, but I agree. I just don't think they have enough shooting. Spacing would really be a problem. Philadelphia, look, if I could trust Joel Embiid, it would be a no-brainer. That would easily be your best chance to win.
Sure.
But not only do I not trust Embiid to be healthy, even this playoff run, he missed a bunch of, almost half the games, maybe half of the games in this run. And I just think it's really difficult to have a great player in and out of the lineup.
Yep.
Because with Embiid, we play one way. Without him, we play another way. And that's just tough to win at the highest level. And I also think, Nick, when you look at those 4 perimeter players, and I'm throwing LeBron in there, Maxey, Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, and LeBron, we know LeBron can adjust. He showed it in LA. But all of those dudes want a ball. Mm-hmm. Really score. Maxey's going to have the ball. Edgecombe is a young player trying to show he's a star so he can get that max contract. Jaylen has a ton to prove now. You know he's got a chip on his shoulder. And then you got LeBron in there. I just think that could be clunky. Even as LeBron can play the Swiss Army knife, he was doing it as a third option in LA. Now, you can't even imagine him as a fourth. It just would be, yes, that's a great way to put it. So Cleveland, you look at Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, LeBron. That's nice. That team is a good team. They just don't have the mental toughness. LeBron obviously brings that. Harden is the clunky fit.
Yeah.
But look, in the playoffs, if LeBron were to go there, in the playoffs, LeBron's obviously got the ball at the end of the game. You don't worry about Harden struggles with it. He's now the fourth option. I'm not worried about him getting 8 points, all right? And then in the regular season, I think they kind of alternate handling the ball and stuff like that. Harden can play off the ball occasionally because he can shoot, and LeBron can be off the ball some. I don't even think LeBron wants to be the main ball handler for 40 minutes anymore, 35 minutes, whatever. So I am going to go with.
Wow.
I'm so excited about him returning. Potentially, I think he's going Bear. Wilds, you give it a try. It's gonna work because it's all about the land now.
Okay, again, this doesn't make any editorial sense. I also think he's going to go to Cleveland.
Yes, that's what
I'm rooting for him to go to Cleveland.
Yes.
I like Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
So it's not about my belief or anything. So this should work.
Yes.
Doesn't make any sense.
And you broke it again. You always, You always hit it.
It'll work for you.
I don't know if they're my answer, but I just want to see if there's something wrong with the button.
It doesn't make sense.
It is you.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know why we're doing it.
So here's the thing.
I've grown to love it, though.
I think you are yada-yadaing, for lack of a better term, the Harden clunkiness a little more than I would.
That is as big of a deal as it would be.
Yes, yeah. Okay. And it also does feel and maybe I am focusing a little too much on the LeBron to the fan. They tried to put me on the shelf. And LeBron to Steve Nash, pardon me, in the pod saying, I saw what role I needed to play, and I was good with it for now, I think he said, or for the time being. I just think him being in the same in the same perimeter players as Donovan Mitchell and James Harden presents a very similar situation as he could have stayed in Los Angeles, which is, let's just put Donovan Mitchell in the Luka position.
Okay.
Where, he
won't have the ball as much.
It won't have the ball as much, but he's the team's best player and going to be number one scorer. You also are asking me to adjust my game more than a guy who I am better than, Austin Reeves or James Harden, because they can only play one way, and I'm now having to do this kind of weird thing, which is why I do think, I think from a storybook perspective, Cleveland makes way more sense than Philly. If Philly's an option, then Minnesota's an option. Then Denver's an option. Then, a bunch of places.
They're in the West. That's probably
sure. That could be a big reason why, to be fair. It's also why, if I'm Cleveland, I am really annoying Masai Ujiri on okay, let's really what do we have to attach to a James Harden sign and trade to get Kyrie Irving? Can we just?
No, I'm very interested.
Can we?
I'm very interested in that.
We can make it to where the contract, James is happy with the contract, but it also won't be onerous to you guys. Your window is not this moment anyway. What type of things can we make you? How can we flip out Harden for Kyrie? Because I think would get them LeBron.
Let's unpack that.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the win for Dallas there?
The picks that
just a bunch of picks.
Yeah, Cleveland,
which won't be great.
No,
it'll be lower first round.
Yeah, of course, but or maybe far enough down the road that they think they could be great. You know what I mean? If we're talking about picks for obviously post LeBron, and then the lottery system's different.
But I want to go a different route in unpacking that. To me, I don't think Donovan, LeBron, Harden. LeBron is going to be the second guy. It's not going to be like it was with the Lakers where it was okay, Luka, Austin, LeBron. I think Harden clearly just becomes the third guy of that trio, and he gets in where he fits in. And then if you were to bring Kyrie, now obviously he and LeBron have a great relationship, a great history and all that, but that's still three guys, and I think Kyrie at this point is better than Harden. So does LeBron still be in that third role?
But I just think he would be more willing to accept that role with Kyrie and with Kyrie's Kyrie's, again, it's been a while since we've seen it. But his postseason history is so different than Harden's.
Oh, yeah.
And that we know the fit's great. And I think the one thing Cleveland, whether it's Harden or Kyrie, that's not going to be a good defensive team. You have Donovan and whether it's Harden or Kyrie are bad defensive guards. You have rim protection, but you're still not going to be able to stop guys at point of attack. So the solve for that is, what if we are just an A-plus offense? And I think Kyrie helps that more than Donovan because I think that, more than Harden. Because I think Harden's best asset offensively at this point is the playmaking. LeBron can do that. You know what I mean? Like when LeBron's on the ball and Donovan and Kyrie are not spotting up, so to speak, but out on the wings, you got the big. That just works.
I like that.
So if they can't move Harden, which I agree, whether it's for Kyrie or somebody, I would try to move him.
I think Cleveland's the most likely. It's just not as quite as seamless as I would like. I don't. Drew, you want to hit it one more time?
You go for it.
Cleveland! Come on, man. Come on.
Guys.
Come on, look, I think it's going to work.
And Holland steal the golden boot. That's next. We're counting down to Norway, England on Fox
I don't get
in
it.
Miami.
I just don't get why it doesn't work for wives.
Man, I don't understand why it works for the show. Welcome back to First Things First. Argentina, Switzerland on Fox in Kansas City in 3 days. Arthur Bryant and some of the other.
I'm a little worried about Argentina after this game.
After this, you think they're going to?
Well, they're going to beat Switzerland, and then I think they're going to be so sad about they've spent so much time in Kansas City that this is their final game there.
Oh, yeah.
They know they're about to have to leave.
Maybe they can get a nice little spot.
There's only, a couple nonstop flights a day, Kansas City to Buenos Aires, so it's hard to get back.
Is there a nonstop flight from Kansas City to
Buenos Aires?
That would be remarkable. Genuinely remarkable.
With a goal yesterday, Messi extends his lead in the Golden Boot race. 8 so far. Mbappe and Haaland have 7. Harry Kane has 6, but they've all been quality. Dembele, Oyarzabal, and Jude have 4 apiece. We'll start with you, Dax. Who do you think wins it? And bonus question. Oh, no, I'll wait for the bonus question once we go around. The bonus question's interesting.
Okay. Mr. World Cup knockout round himself, Kylian Mbappe.
Ooh.
I have France winning the whole tournament. Meaning I have France playing more games than Argentina. I have France playing more games than Norway. So I think the biggest challenger to that title, if my bracket is to hold true, would actually be Harry Kane.
Because he has France
basically
England
doing
final.
your prediction.
If I'm basing it off that, which I am, I do believe Mbappe is going to win it. And this might sound contradictory, but I do believe having other world-class attacking players around you opens up space for you.
Classic.
And if
2 great
Mbappe,
wide receivers theory.
Yeah, and I think it absolutely is pertinent for this French national team now because I believe Mbappe can score goals in a myriad of different ways. And he isn't the physical profile that Harry Kane and Erling Haaland are. He isn't the, let's call it maybe all-round special player that Lionel Messi is, but he is an out-and-out goal scorer. And this is where he has, I think,
this was
adapted
not the most impressive one.
No. And if you're going to give him
That's
layups,
a free one.
if you're going to give him layups, then he's obviously going to take them. But he can score a goal in so many different ways. And why I believe that he's going to win the Golden Boot, because France is going to win the tournament. He can do things like that 1v1 that other players simply can't. Haaland doesn't score goals like that. Kane doesn't really score goals like that. Messi, at times, he still likes to go 1v1 and score goals like that, but a lot of the other players are relying on service and relying on teammates opening up space for them. I think Mbappe is the favorite to win it.
I hope you're right, because I really like Mbappe. I want him to get it. He's obviously going to end up, well, barring injury and stuff, being the World Cup all-time leading goal scorer. But I'm going to go with Messi because, they have the easier path. Like Mbappe, they got to play Spain.
Yeah.
And how many goals are they going to score in that game, win or lose?
Sure.
Messi, I just think has the easier path. And so I do think he'll end up winning it.
I think Messi locks it up this weekend.
Oh,
I think Messi scores 2 this weekend. Haaland is knocked out of the tournament this weekend, so he's gone. I don't think Kane is going to, score 5 more this tournament. Sure. The tiebreaker is assists. Messi is in good position on that front, and I think Hakimi and Morocco's not their entire focus, but a focus of trying to slow down Mbappe. We talked about Spain, which hasn't allowed a goal. Meanwhile, Messi gets Switzerland, again, credit to Switzerland, but I think he could get 2 this weekend and 10 just wins it. That even if he doesn't make the final, Mbappe can't get to 11 because Messi's going to be ahead of him in assists. I think it's not guaranteed, but probably. I also can we show the Golden Boot graphics I have? One is, you show whichever one you want first, Dust. I don't really care. So, again, this is the last 6 Golden Boot winners. The fact that 8 has been good enough to win at every World Cup this century, and a guy already has 8, it's just remarkable. Somebody could get 8 and not finish podium in this World Cup for Golden Boot.
Yeah.
And then
more games.
One more.
The extra game, I agree, Brew. The extra game definitely plays a part.
But not yet. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, the extra game has not impacted it yet. Sure. And here's the all-time race. I mean, again, Just Fontaine has a sizable lead. And I understand this is, again, an extra game. This is where this would impact it. But that's on the board here.
Oh, that he breaks the record.
That he ties the record.
In one World Cup.
I don't think he can get 6 more goals. He's got 3 games left maximum.
Well, looking at this graphic, the fact that you have 3 players that have gotten to double-digit goals in a World Cup, and you have arguably 3 or 4 in one World Cup that could realistically get there, is still a stunning display of quality.
Well, here's the other thing. It has been 60 years since someone scored more than 8 goals in a World Cup. 60 years.
Yeah.
I would, and I'm excited about the more goal scoring. I love it. And I'm not trying to poo-poo what the guys are doing. It's been great. But not only do you have an extra game, that extra game is against teams that might not even have been in the World Cup.
Yes.
And if it was still at 32 teams.
No, that's definitely.
You heard it here. Brew hates Cape Verde.
No.
He hates Cape Verde.
They've been great.
No, that's a fair.
It is I still love it.
But also, those records are from when. If you look in a lot of these World Cup games were like 6-4. The game has played soccer in the 60s was not that dissimilar from basketball in the 60s. We're going up and down. We're
By the way, you could pass it back to the goalkeeper, he could pick it up.
Yeah.
Right? And he just booted it up the field.
Go, KW.
Bonus question. It's best for soccer worldwide who wins the Golden Boot? Messi just adds.
Absolutely. Yeah. The story that he is writing at his age right now is incredible, unfathomable, unthinkable. Pick any adjective you want. It's truly historic, genuinely.
Let me ask you, can I throw in something quick? Now, he's not in the running, but had Yamal been having a great tournament,
that would have been
he was
great.
in the
that
running.
Would have been fast.
Would that have been better if he would have?
I think so. I think so. He's kind of the guy. It's guess what? Guess who's taking the mantle from Messi?
By the way,
with 1 goal.
Well, yeah, he's not.
Kane is 2 goals away from tying Klose at 16. Remember, Klose was the all-time leader going into this tournament. And was the all-time leader for a long time. Harry Kane could end this tournament with more career World Cup goals than Klose and be 3rd all-time. This is the biggest loser of this tournament. Miroslav Klose. You're going to lose a podium spot.
Poor guy.
But it was still up there. It's like when Sammy Sosa's by the way, I hit over 61 home runs several times. No one talks about it.